In today's video, we have yet another, yes, another faulty PlayStation 5 that doesn't power on. The ticket number is 11298, and when you go to power this one on, you get no blue light, nothing happens at all. In my opinion, I think the ones that have no power are more fixable than the ones that show a blue light and then shut off. That's just in my experience so far. I've already done a little bit of research on this one already, and I've got my meter in continuity mode, and you should be able to see that on the screen now. So I'm going to talk you through what I've found so far. I do have a little bit of leftover flux here because, like I said, I've done some research already. I'm just going to clean that up. But as you can see, the side of the cap looks a little bit chipped because I'm going to go ahead and assume that it potentially suffered from a crack. As you can see here, look at that. For those who are wondering, this is around the area F7003 on the PlayStation board, and we just come south down here. And I will show you that here we have a short to ground. So we get a beep this side and a beep this side. So we have a short to ground on this area of the board. And this inductor here is obviously going to be shorted as well. This side is ground, as it's meant to be. This side is not. One of these components, one of these three, this, or this, is causing this short. Or potentially it might even be the chip or something else on the board. I have injected voltage into the board and can see that one of those caps, it looks like the chipped one, is getting hot. So what I'm going to do is remove that cap, starting with that one, to see if I get rid of the short. Interestingly enough, before I do that, if I turn the board around, and again, I have this area here, which I injected voltage because this capacitor is also getting hot. When I inject power into this capacitor, the other capacitor that I showed you on the other side of the board gets hot. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the bottom capacitor first to see if that gets rid of our short. So let's do that now. There we go. I can dispose of that capacitor because either way that is not going back on the board. Okay, now let's see if our short has gone. Hopefully it has. It hasn't. We still have a short to ground on this pad, which means it wasn't this capacitor that was causing the short, even though it had the crack in it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take off this cap. And this cap actually looked okay, but looks can be deceiving. Now we have both capacitors removed. Let's see if the short has gone. Again, I hope so. No, it's still there. We still have a short. I don't think it's going to be this inductor, if I'm being honest, but I could be wrong. It might be the chip itself. It's weird because when I injected voltage, I was drawing about 1.5 amps, or sorry, 2 amps, and it was this area. It was one of these caps that was getting hot straight away. And same with the other side of the board. Let's just take this inductor off. Just give everything a quick clean whilst it's cooling down. Now the inductor's off. Do we still have a short? I'm going to assume yes. I've never had a shorted inductor. I don't know if they can. Yep. So we still have a short on this path here. Here. Again, this is ground. You have a short here, short to ground here, short to ground here. Is this shorted now? No, it's not. Okay, so these pins from the chip aren't shorted anymore, which means that the inductor was carrying the short over to the chip. So I need to find out whereabouts on the board this is connected to. It looks like we've got 6 wires here that potentially carry this connection somewhere random in the board. However, like I said, when I was injecting voltage, nothing else on the board was getting hot other than this area. On the other side of the board, we still have this cap, which I'm going to assume is shorted. These are the wires here, these 6 wires. So I wonder if I get a short on these pads. I do, because that's where those wires are. Is this cap still shorted over here? So that's ground. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is still shorted. Let's take this cap off. This wasn't getting hot, so I don't know if it can mean it's the shorted component, but let's take it off just in case. There we go. Okay, nice and clean. Do we still have a short? No, we don't. Okay, the short's gone. Let's check the other side of the board. That wasn't getting hot though. It makes no sense. Let's just see if we have a short here. We don't. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Let me just put the caps and inductor back on here first. I'm going to get a new cap for here though, because the other one was a bit dodgy. So just put a little bit of flux here, and of course here and here. Add leaded solder onto the pads. Here as well. And here. Perfect. And now just to tidy them up, a little bit of flux. And flow them in place. And they should hop and skip about in a second. Make sure they're nice, and there we go. Soldered to the board. Perfect. There we go. Nice and tidy work, as you can see. Obviously, we need to switch over to the back of the board and resolder this cap here as well. And there we go. This cap isn't going anywhere. Let's just double check and make sure that the short hasn't come back. Okay, there we go. No short to ground this side. Continuity this side. No continuity this side. Perfect. And now, my favorite part. Let's test it. Wish me luck. Here we have the PlayStation 5 on the test bench. We have the clamp in. We have the LEDs in just to make sure it's all good. We press the power button. What happens? We get a blue light. Again, super happy. Just need to now make sure that we see the logo on the screen, and there it is. So we have a fully working PlayStation 5 that had no power. If you need a repair, feel free to use the link in the description down below for our mail-in service. I'll see you in the next one.